Welcome to the F5 Application Security Manager Web Application Firewall Demo Series. In this demo we'll show how to use and enforce attack signatures using F5 Big IP ASM. This is demo 22 of the ASM demo series.